It's my pleasure, Gina. I'm excited to speak with you.
I'm excited too. I know we were just talking about my peri post men or not post my perimenopause, and because I'm going to turn 42 in, oh my gosh, in December. I'm just thinking about it. I don't feel 42 though. I feel like I'm like 22, how I was supposed to feel at 22 years of age. So yeah, so thank you for joining me today. Could you just share a little bit about your experience with, peri or postmenopause and how it has actually inspired you on your current mission?
Thank you. Well, I did not, I had a good experience through perimenopause and menopause, and I attribute that to the lifestyle that I had been living through my mid 30s and beyond. And what I found with my clients who were not having an easy time is when I really put together all the steps that I had been taking holistically in terms of, and Ayurveda simply means science or knowledge of life, and it's considered yoga's sister science. So it's really all about lifestyle, and I live what I teach, and bringing that into my clients' lives really made a difference for those who were struggling. And for those who weren't quite in that phase yet, as I worked with them, they didn't struggle. It was a breeze for them as well. And so I'm about 7 years post menopause now and feeling great. So it doesn't have to be a sentence where your life is over and you're just getting old.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing that because I really do think that it's all about how our mind and body and the connection and with our spirit as well. And can you talk a little bit about more what Ayurveda is? Because this is going to sound funny, but this is a new word for me. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, and yoga has become so popular, and it's really the physical branch of yoga, and some spiritual and some breathing. But yoga's sister science has been around for thousands of years, and it really, when I started studying this, it's like the world made sense to me. So we look at daily rhythms of day and night. We look at monthly rhythms, which is, the moon, and that's how women's bodies have their monthly cycle. That's in alignment. And then the seasonal rhythms and how those changes and how we can adapt to those. So in our modern world, we've really gotten away from nature's rhythms. We're working, we're up late at night. We're eating, rushed. And so it's really about how can we honor our bodies, because we are part of nature, and every element that's in nature is also in our body.
Yeah, so I've heard of the moon, like the menstrual cycle.
The moon.
It's menstrual cycle. Like I guess what the moon is related to the feminine energy, and then the masculine is more related to the sun. And then it's funny because I was just talking to my husband because he was like, I'm so tired. Can you help me rest? I'm like, well, how am I going to help you rest? I said, okay, come here. Let me give you a hug. And then is it true that, like, I don't know if this is part of your expertise at all, but just out of curiosity, um, when like the moon represents the female and the female is more like a magnetic, and then that represents kind of like also a darker energy, but also it helps with rest. It helps like take away energy. Is that true?
Well, I'm going to look at it slightly differently, because you talked about male is sun energy and women is moon energy. So if you think about a man, they are fertile every day. And like, it's like sun energy is just, it's there all the time. And for women, they're only fertile once a month. Right. So it's like the full moon is only once a month. And think about it. The moon is strong enough to change the tides, just tides of the ocean, because the tides are stronger at the full moon. And they're, that's related to women's bodies and our monthly rhythms that are 28 or 29 days, just like the moon. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense because, men are always fertile all the time and women are like, well, once a month. So it makes total sense. And that's what I have to explain to my husband sometimes too. Like, hey, I only am once a month, but whatever, that's a different topic.
Yeah.